Welcome to Berdon eCast. I'm Maury Golbert, tax partner here at Berdon LLP. With me is my colleague Sean Kanousis, a member of our state and local tax group. Sean, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
The topic today is transfer tax, but specifically in the context of the environment we're currently in. You know, over the past couple of years, it's been a difficult economic environment. There have been some real upheavals in the real estate markets, and you have a lot of assets which are in distress. Some of the debt is trading hands, some of the assets are getting foreclosed. And along with the myriad of income tax issues that go along with that, which can be pretty significant for people, there's a sort of lurking issue that people don't talk about a lot, which is transfer tax. And Sean, being a member of our state and local group, one of the things you focus on a lot is transfer tax. So I think maybe just spend a couple of minutes for, our viewing audience explaining some of the basics of what transfer tax affects, and then we can talk a little bit more about some of those lurking problems in, the workout environment we're in.
Sure. Well, transfer tax is basically the way it sounds. It's a tax on the transfer of real estate. And the easiest example of that would be when you sell a building, a new deed is recorded, and at the time you record the deed, there is an actual tax on that transfer. In New York, which is a very sophisticated state with regard to the transfer tax, they also tax the sales of what they call controlling interest in entities which own real property. So unlike other states, you do not necessarily have to be a actual real estate company, you just have to be an entity that owns real property. And when you sell a controlling interest in an entity, it doesn't matter if it's a corporation, partnership, trust, LLC, when you sell a 50% or greater interest in that entity, that also is going to trigger the transfer tax in New York.
So Sean, what's the rate of the tax?
New York State and New York City each have their own rate. New York State is 0.4%. But New York City rate is 2.625%. So when you transfer property in New York City, there's a combined transfer tax rate of 3.025%.
And what is that 3.025% on? It's what you pay. It's essentially what you pay for the property, correct?
Correct.
And if you pay cash and also take a mortgage assumption, it's on the total purchase price, not just on the cash portion.
That's correct.
All right, so in the simplest example, if I sell a piece of property for $100 million in New York City, I'd have a transfer tax of $3.025 million.
Correct.